How's it going, everyone? McKinney here. Today I'm gonna be talking about this thing right here and also these things, right? Written me on Turo. So I'll be talking to you about my Turo business, not just my Turo business. I just say that because that is the most common thing, but there are so many other options when it comes to rental cars, right? So a lot of you know this year I got married, right? I also bought my first rental property with my wife, right, to rent out a house. And I recently started getting involved in the rental car business, the rental car space, because two things I know people will always need: a place to lay their head when they travel, or just a place to live in general. And the second thing is going to be a way of getting around, that is always going to be needed. In the entertainment and tourism field, those are two things always needed. Here, this is my Audi key and my Maserati key. Actually, I'm not going to be talking about these two cars in particular. I'm going to be talking about the two cars that are actually out. One of them is on that keychain, the other one is not. Before we get in, I want to introduce myself. My name is McKinney Thomas. So welcome back to the channel. If you're following me on the 3F TV YouTube channel, or if you're watching this on Instagram right now, at McKinney.Thomas. If you're not on the other one, make sure you go follow or subscribe. In June, mid-June, I think it was like June 16th, I bought my first car and put it on Turo. And I told you guys I was going to give you a 2-month recap of how much I made, how the business is going so far, how we handled a total loss of a vehicle. Yes, we actually handled a total loss of a vehicle. A vehicle got totaled from ours, right? But no worries, we actually made a little bit of money from that and actually helped us out a lot, right? So we're going to be talking about that. And just to give you an idea, I'm going to show you how much we made. So this is my first business, D&M Luxury, RC. The RC stands for Rentals and Concierge. So as you can see, in this business, we have the Maserati Ghibli in LA, the Jeep Wrangler in Atlanta, and then in the New York, Connecticut area, the Lexus ES 350. This is this beauty right here. We got this available in Atlanta. Show you some more stuff. We got this beauty here in LA, and then the IS 350 in New York. All beautiful cars, but we also have access to the C8 Corvette. I don't know if it's called the Stingray anymore. We got this Lamborghini Huracan, the interior for that. Like the i8's interior. Got the blue lights and the stars at the top. Right, so we have access to all of this, but the three main ones in our fleet are this one, and the IS 350 is about to be put up for concierge service with the luxury private jet rental. So not this exact private jet, but we have other access to that. So definitely with that. And then we also have let me see, AM Luxuries LLC. Let me put that, AM Luxuries LLC. And this is also my second business, right? So we're based out of just SoCal in Atlanta right now. Just beautiful Audi Q3 right here, which is so fun. I actually have this in the Maserati, and I actually like driving this Audi more, surprisingly. And then we have this Audi A4 in Atlanta. Now I'm just going to show you what I earned so far in 2021. I started in mid-June, so mid-August is actually 2 months. So that's $4,182 I earned in 2021. I have about $2,000 coming in, but this is actually a little bit less because the Jeep is included in this. So to show you guys a little bit more, let me go to my other thing, right? So this month I have $1,449 coming in. The past month I had $2,393. So this year it's $4,332, right? But I did give a few refunds for different things, so that is actually really good. And now if I show you just on my cars, the two cars I want to talk about, which is the Audi Q3 and the Nissan Altima. I don't want to talk about the Jeep, the Lexus, and Maserati because those have barely been put on the platform and they haven't even been 2 weeks yet. So I'll recap that next month for you guys, right? So with the Audi Q3, you see that it's earned $2,610 in its lifetime. After the reimbursements, it's been $2,548. For the Nissan Altima, it's been $1,559. After reimbursements, it's $1,520. So it's really good rate of return, right? And this is on 2 cars so far. So I just wanted to show you that, and obviously I have more cars on here and we'll show you that later on, and I have private rentals as well. So I just wanted to show you that, and then let's talk about expenses. Okay, and right here is going to be my expenses and my earnings. So $3,968, that's pretty much the $2,548 from the Audi for 2 months, and then the $1,520 from the Nissan Altima. So after my expenses, I made $3,011.58 this month. And I know there's a third little decimal, but that's because I divided some of the things by 3. And obviously when you divide numbers by 3s, this is what you get. But this is pretty much what I spent on those 2 cars. Right, so that is pretty good. Right. So right there, I just showed you proof of how much I am making for the first 2 months. Right, it's about $3,011.58. You might ask, like, oh, these numbers are false because you have 3 decimal places. It's because I divided some of my payments by 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm actually making about $1,500 a month on those 2 cars. I actually have 6 cars on the platform going into my 3rd month. Right, I have the Nissan Altima and the Audi, which was the first 2 cars I got, and then I have the Jeep Wrangler in Atlanta. I have the Audi A4 in Atlanta. I have the Lexus, and then I have in New York, and then I have the Maserati in LA. Right, so the Lexus, the Jeep, and the Audi should have been put on last month, and I know I made that promise or that goal. It wasn't because I actually bought the Audi on a good deal, right? So always get cars on good deals. But there was an issue with it that I didn't find out. So do not shop at Auto Services Unlimited in Alpharetta, Georgia with Aaron. They will screw you over a little bit. Good thing I got such a good deal that I think I could come out still on top. It just delayed my start date, right? The Jeep actually needed a lot of work when it comes to upgrades because we didn't want to just get $60 a day on that car. We wanted to get 150 plus, so we put some upgrades and put money into it. This is a good thing to know if you're thinking about getting a Jeep. Only get it if you really love the car, or you can get one on a good deal that's already hooked up, right? Because it actually requires a lot to put into it to make it that fancy Jeep that you want. So if you want the car, you know, it'll set you behind a little bit and you can recoup that. Otherwise, if you want to get a good return on investment right now, get one that's already fixed up, or get another car. Get a luxury, or just get a shooter car, what we like to call it, right? The reason why I say this is because, as you see with my Audi, right, this is why it's a hit or miss on what you want, luxury or economy. With my Audi, it was about 5 times the price of that Nissan that I got paid in cash for, but I made about $2,500 over 2 months. And that's because it was off for a week or 2 because we needed it. So I'm going to be averaging, because I got more bookings, about $1,600 to $1,800 a month on that car. It just went out for 2-week bookings that I'm about to make $900 for, right? The Nissan, on the other hand, I'm going to be averaging about $700 off of that car. This is really every month. This is really good because if you think about it, that Nissan Altima is about 1/5 of the price of the Audi, yet it's making about half, which means if I really wanted to, instead of getting an Audi, I could have got 5 Nissan Altimas, and instead of making $2,500 for the same amount, I would have been making 7 times 12, $8,400. That would have paid every single month from those 5 cars. So that means every single month I would have paid off not every single month, the year. For the year, 700 times 12, that's $8,400. That's enough to pay off the car and a half, right? So think about it like this: 700 times 5, that's 3,500 a month I would have been making instead of the 1,800. The reason we got the luxury cars is because you need to know why you're getting into the game. I want to distinguish myself as the luxury transportation guy or traveling person. I want to be able to have concierge services and build the brand that I can pass on. I didn't think I can do that with the shooters, and it doesn't fit my lifestyle. So I didn't go that route, right? But if you want return on investment, the cheaper cars might be you. If you're working from home, or you don't use your car and you work very short to your house, you might want to rent the car out. Yes, you might have to take an Uber or take a bus, but if you think about it, if you can rent your daily car out for $70 during the week, and you can just take a quick $15 Uber one way and then back, that's $30 a day. You make $40 a day or something like that, and then you can use it on the weekends or something like that, right? So you might come out on top. The reason I say this is because you need to know your exit strategy and what you're going to do. Like I mentioned before, cash, right? Because I paid cash for the Nissan Altima, but it really wasn't my cash. I used other people's money, OPM. I used the bank's money, and I used friends and family. I didn't take it as a borrow. Let me borrow some money. I need some money. I took it as, this is going to be a partnership. You give me $2,000, I pay you $3,000. I'm giving them more than what the banks will get. Why? Because I know it'll get me more than what I paid them. right? And instead of using my own cash, getting rid of my savings or whatever, now I have cash flow. People do this all the time with real estate, with credit cards, different things like that. So you do not need money to start. That's why I mentioned that. You do not need money to start. I didn't have any money to start, or I didn't want to put any money to start. I just got a house. I put money into that. But with this, I didn't want to, because I know I need to use, even though I have the cash, I didn't want to use cash to buy that first car. You might be like, I don't want to get stuck with paying people or paying the bank. It's only for that first payment. And a lot of times you can get a car with $0 down payment if you have good credit. If you don't have good credit, watch my other videos and you'll learn about it, right? So with that being said, think about it like this. The Lexus was put on Turo before my Jeep. Guess what? Within 1 week, that Lexus made enough money to pay for my Jeep monthly costs. It's like this for the rest of my cars. That first month I had to pay for expenses like trackers and car washes and stuff. But every month after that, I don't have to come out of pocket for insurance, for a car note. Why? Because it comes from the profit. After that first month, if you set up right and you have a mentor, you take a course, or you ask me a question, you'll be able to set up where you get bookings immediately and you can never have to worry about payment. Especially if you got $0 down payment, you're probably going to make money before you even need to pay a bill. That means it's all cash flow. It's all cash flow. So you use your money, and maybe you don't want to, you have the $8,000. Why not split that $8,000 and get 4 cars rather than just getting 1 car? Now you got 4 income streams coming in, right? And let's say you're like, all right, I have the money, but I don't have the time. This is where it comes in. For about 10 to 15 hours per week, and I put out my results before, I am making about $100 to $150 an average on that, right? Let's say I had something else I was fully passionate, which I do, because other hosts actually do this full time and they don't quit they quit their jobs to do this. But I am passionate about fitness, coaching, and other things. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket when it comes to investing as well. You see, I bought the house as well. So what do I do then? Well, I have people that want to partner up with me and send me some cars. How am I going to handle that? What's going to happen is once I get to 10 cars, I am going to hire a part-time employee or a contractor. I'm going to pay them $15 to $20. I'm going to find a college student or a friend I know that needs a job that doesn't want to commit to another job for time-wise, right? So I'm going to pay them $20. Why would I do that and risk my profits? Because it frees up my time, which is the whole point of investing, right? Let's say I have 5 hours a week on Turo that I need to do. I'm just gonna let's pay attention to 1 hour. Let's say I make $100 an hour on Turo, and I also make $100 an hour training someone. That's $200, but I can't do an hour at the same time. So how do I make the money? I hire someone to do my Turo for $20. That means I make $100 that hour for Turo. I'll go train someone. I make $100 an hour in that same hour. So that's $200 per hour, and then I pay someone $20 to do my work on Turo. Let's say I paid them for their travel. So now I paid them for 2 hours, $40 as well. And I just made $200. That's $160 profit for an hour. You can do that same thing. If you work from home, even better, because you can clean the cars or whatever between your job, or have your kid or someone do it. And then while you're working from home, you can just rent the car out to someone. Make more money while you're working your job, right? And then just block the car so you can use it during your weekends or whatever. And it's even better if you want to have a car that you really like, because now you don't have to make any payments. It's called car hacking. You can really drive a fancy car like this Maserati or Porsche or whatever and not have to worry about payments because someone else is paying it for you. They're just going to rent it for 4 or 5 days a month and you paid the car note. Any more than that, you're profiting. Right now, let's say I took out $100,000 in debt, but I'm getting $4,000 to $5,000 a month in return. No house is ever going to pay you $100,000 house is not going to pay you $5,000 a month. $5,000 a month, right? No house is going to pay you that for $100,000, right? So this is a good investment for me because it's giving me a lot of cash flow that I can use to invest in real estate. The house I just bought was about $200 something thousand. It's only going to profit me about $1,500. So let's say I took out $100,000 in loans, right? I think I'm actually closer to about $95,000, right? So let's say I took out $95,000 in loan. We're just gonna round it up to 100, but I have $4,000 coming in after profits net coming in, right? So off of the first $35,000, I have net coming in. I had about $1,200 a month coming in. So off of $95,000 or $100,000, I am aiming for about $4,000 net coming in. 4,000 times 12 is about $4,800. That's like a whole person's, pay. That's like a whole person's pay. So if you think about that, I added that to my salary by taking this out. There is no way that you're going to be able to, sorry, I'm crossing the street right now. There's no way that any house or any other investments, whether you put it into stocks or real estate, is going to pay you $4,000 a month for putting in $100,000, right? This is why it's good to get in something like this that is really, really lucrative, right? So for me, I found it to be in rental cars. And this is right now, this is not after I get my private rental license or partner up with other brokerages for rental cars, which I'm going to be doing pretty soon, right? So there might be other things, but I found Turo. So this is why I'm telling a lot of people to get in on the Turo game, because it is very lucrative. Just to give you food for thought, that's about $4,000 off of $95,000 of loan, of debt, right? We took out $212,000 for a house that we invested in. The house is only going to net us about $1,500 to $2,000 a month. After taking out all the expenses, it's about $300 to $700 a month that we'll be taking, being able to profit. $300 to $700 for $200,000 worth of house. And mind you, it's going to go up in value. We're going to get tax benefits, but that is still going to be about $2,000 a month, if that. But for half of the investment costs, I am making double. Which one would you do if you wanted to increase? So this is what I would just tell you, is get into the game now, whether you just do the car that you already have and test it out, or you get another car that can easily resell, and make sure you get a good deal, because if you find out this isn't for you, but you got a good deal on the car, you can still get out of it and still profit, right? Also do your research. I did my research a long time before I got started. I paid for courses. I made that money back for sure. I joined Facebook groups and I asked questions. So you can do like other people are doing right now. You can ask me questions, join the groups, get the courses, and learn, because things will come up. You get a total, like my wife happened on her second rental. Someone will scratch your car, or you get smokers, or you get someone that doesn't show up, or you get a stolen car, something like that. Things can happen. You need to know how to handle it, and it's very easily handled. This is why I stayed on Turo for right now rather than doing some of the other ones, because Turo just has a good policy if you follow the steps, right? So hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully you like that I was honest about the numbers that I'm taking in, about the profit, the partnerships, about the debt, about the loans, all of that. And the tip for you is, you might be scared, like, oh, I don't want to take out even $10,000 for my name, put that in debt. The rich people do this all the time. As long as you have profit coming in, do it. The other thing is, if you do it in your business name, it won't show up on your personal side, and then you have the income on your personal side to qualify for anything you want later, whether it's a car you want, the house that you want, the apartment that you want, the equipment you want, or something like that, right? You can really level up after that. Hope this makes sense. Let me know what you enjoy. Let me know if you have any more questions, and I'll see you guys later. This is going to be a Ferrari key next time. Now it's going to be a Dodge Viper key in about 8 months.